Texas. We're on the road.
My baby, she went to Oklahoma. My baby, she left town. Oh, no Greyhound. My baby went bye-bye. Oh, she made me cry. Maybe she got another guy. I never know quite why. Yeah, my baby, she's Oklahoma bound. My baby, she smokes reefers 3 feet long. Oh, let's all sing along. Some say there's a land where a woman and a man walk hand in hand with Jesus and his band. But my baby, she's Oklahoma bound. My baby, she's an angel. Her feet don't touch the ground. Oh, no Greyhound. Some say there's a land where a woman and a man walk hand in hand with Jesus and his band. But my baby, she's Oklahoma bound. Yeah, my baby, she's Oklahoma bound. Yeah, my baby, she's Oklahoma bound. Yeah, my baby, she's Oklahoma bound.
So as we were heading outside of Snyder, I kept noticing that the temperature gauge was getting hotter and hotter, and we had frequent stops where Jason took the temperature gauge and measured how hot we were getting. Finally, at one point we hit 205 degrees, which is a no-no land for these buses. They really should not get above 200. And so we decided that we were going to just have to pull it over, let it cool down. But we had some steaks with us, so we ended up cooking out and jumped back on the road for a while, and finally made it to these really funky, weird storage unit, cargo container kind of hotel things. And we had made it, I think, a total of about 45 miles the first day. So from there, we woke up the next morning and gave it another start and saw how things went.
Well, here's the next day. We've made it 100 miles from Snyder, where the bus came from, and this is what I like to call working out the kinks. We've had a couple of different issues going on.
That's great.
He's putting on the lotion. So we've driven it for a while. There's a couple things going on. One is we have an awful lot of transmission fluid in a puddle underneath the bus every time we stop, but the oil level doesn't seem to be going down. We put a little in this morning and it looks like we lost some, so I don't know what's going on with that. Our makeshift tube that connects the blower to the drive from the engine, it's leaking, and we've got some strategies to do that with some right stuff. We had a little leak on the valve cover, but
Tighten that down, it should be better.
yeah, we got that all tightened down. And then the biggest problem we had today, you can look way down in there, is we lost both our 20-year-old belts that sat in the hot burning sun.
Part number 3.
Yeah. B42, man. It's what I got in the bus. Fortunately, I keep spare fan belts, but if you ever do a rescue, I've always been told you change the belts. And of course, Jason here,
Hey, it wasn't my decision, it just didn't get done.
Jason looked at him and said, "Oh, they're fine."
I did not say that.
With that Canadian confidence. "Oh, they're
I
fine."
did not say that, my friend.
So we've been having some temperature issues where it zooms up and things like that, and then it finally just shit the bed, or, well, I don't know if we can say that, but yes, it shit the bed this morning.
Shit the bed.
Yeah. So we're getting the old one off. Belt exchange seems pretty simple. We looked at it in the manual today, and it doesn't seem like it's rocket science. So we're going to get the belts changed. We're going to check the fluids, and we're going to just keep going. So we did have some temperature problems yesterday with it kind of getting up. Didn't go too hot. The gauge is not tremendously accurate, but it didn't get above like 195, which is pretty close to shutdown. Today, unfortunately, we got up to about 215, 220 in this top hose, which is not good news.
It went instantly hot.
It went instantly hot. We had it shut down within probably a couple of minutes, so I don't know if it had a chance to do bigger damage, but we're just going to change the belts and keep an eye on the oil and the fluids. And so
Oh my God, you still have the original fan with the blades that turn.
I told you.
Fuck you.
Well, how's it feel?
They work.
Yeah?
They all turn and they work.
So,
I wonder if they're not turning to grab more air, and that's our problem.
So there you go. We have
Yeah.
some dogs that are watching us, and they're very interested at this farm that we are parked at. So we're gonna change the belts, and we're gonna keep going. The fan blades actually move around.
But here's the problem: they're not actually engaging. They're full off all the time. I can turn them, but I don't think they're engaging.
Let's just put the belts on and see what happens.
Okay.
I mean, let's not. I mean, we can watch it with the engine running, but let's get the fan belts on and then see if we've got a problem.
Okay.
Because those things work in mysterious ways. So the old belt's coming off pretty simply. It did get mangled, but it's...
Says the guy not laying under the van. Or
Well.
us.
Oh, did you want that cardboard?
I think I'm okay on the dirt here.
It's grass. It's nice soft grass.
It's Texas. It's dirt.
There's no ants.
Oh, look at that. There's a chunk out of your pulley there. That'll chew up fans.
Where?
Belts right here.
Well, not if we get it seated in.
Yeah. So something to make a note of.
But that was the one that didn't break.
Yeah, it was the outer one. Well, you know what? The outer one just shredded.
Yeah.
So this is
because it's from the 1990s. So is it a B424 or 42?
42, yeah.
Yep. So I've got the right pair of belts.
Thank God.
And we'll start looking for another spare set. But probably should have changed that. Wasn't even on our list of things to think about. But that is one of those things. So we're going to get them changed and we're going to get back on the road.
This is what it's like to drive an old Silversides down the highway. I'm doing 58 miles an hour because it's too hot to go any faster. And we're cruising out of Texas.
So on that same day, we've made it about 150 miles. And we kept getting heat problems. And finally we got too hot just coming into Wichita Falls, Texas, and let it cool down for a couple hours. When we got back to start it back up, here's what so we're doing some diagnostic. Jason,
hey,
let's do this. Can you open this?
Yeah.
Check under the blower. I want to look under the blower lid. Yeah. So we've been having heat problems all day. The radiator is not getting the job done. It's a super hot day. I mean, look at my arm. It's just glistening in sweat, and I've only been out for about 10 minutes. And so we limped it from where it was on the side of the road to a yard that's owned by a mobile truck guy. Really like these guys so far. They found us a radiator shop, which was our initial plan, and then this happened, this rupture. So now we've got to figure out where is the radiator fluid coming from. Worst case scenario, it's coming from like a crack in the head. Another more plausible is that one of these hoses broke.
It's just everywhere. It's like it's hitting the fan and spraying.
Yeah, it's been sprayed all over the engine, and of course it's still dripping underneath. So now he's trying to do that. I might go and get my get the blower. Get the blower lid open. But we're pretty much hot and exhausted. We're frustrated. We've made it 185 miles from our starting point. But the bus isn't healthy. You know, to begin with, before we came down to this third part, we knew that there was liquid coming out of the slobber valve. And I haven't seen any come out of there. It may not have been the slobber valve that I saw the liquid coming out. It may have just been spraying all over. You know, it was spraying onto the tailpipe.
More PB.
Huh?
More PB.
Okay.
That one's empty.
So he's trying to get the radiator screen that failed. Oh man. So it's been a hot and very frustrating day. We started out this morning at 7 a.m. It's like 11 hours now that we've been driving, and other parts of the bus have been working great, but the temperature hasn't. We got it up to about 100, 210 degrees, and partly the temperature sensor just isn't working correctly, so it would read 220, but we'd go and shoot it and it would be 185. Then at one point it shot up right away, and you got to give it a little time to work. And then so it's just been one of those days. So Jason, I think you should hang on, man. I don't want it to break.
No, it's the rust breaking free.
Oh, is that what you're doing?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm working it back and forth with the PV blaster.
Yeah, I've got an impact gun, you know.
No, I want to do this by hand. I think an impact will just break it off.
Okay. Breaking off would be bad. So we've got our tent back up, but
It's not really giving me much shade.
yeah, as you can see, it's not doing a wonderful job. So I can tell you I'm pretty worn out right now. So is Jason. We've been traveling now for, this will be our 8th day, and Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and yesterday we been out in the hot sun pushing it pretty hard, and I think that we're a little whipped. We got to, of course, figure out what's going on with this. Hopefully it's not a head and it's just something in the radiator. We've got a good radiator shop we've identified, and I hope that overheating it didn't screw the engine up, which, you know, we've been pretty clearly told there's been a number of different possibilities. So the mobile mechanics have just pulled up, so we're going to sit and talk with them. We're going to get it opened up, but I've been on rescues before, and this one's wow, this one's pretty hard. So we'll find out later what's going on.